Welcome everybody to Alabama Game Day today. Up on today's docket, we got the Oklahoma Sooners, the newcomers to the SEC. Can Oklahoma make a statement in the welcome to the SEC, or will Alabama? Well, Oklahoma's kind of already gotten a rough welcome to the SEC already, but will Alabama put that stamp on that harsh welcome to the SEC for Oklahoma? The game is in Norman, Oklahoma tonight. Oh boy. I don't know if you looked at that radar, but oh boy, does it look like it's going to be kind of a chilly one. Temperatures hovering in the mid 50s for most of the game. I just checked the forecast and it looks like in Norman, Oklahoma right now it's 48 degrees. Although it looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer than that when the game starts, but still a quite nippy one. And neither team is what we would call a cold weather team. So let's see how the two teams adjust to being so cold. This game and the importance can't be understated. Alabama has to win. Right now, if the season would end right now, the SEC title game would be between a one-loss Texas team and a two-loss Alabama team, because there are a few teams in the running that have two losses. So a series of tiebreakers kick in. Outcomes against each other, head-to-head, is negated because you have Tennessee losing to Georgia, Georgia losing to Alabama, and Alabama losing to Tennessee. So it then goes to another tiebreaker, which also then fails. But then you get to combined opponents' record within the SEC, and Alabama wins on that tiebreaker. So as of right now, the SEC title game is supposed to be between Texas and Alabama. But Alabama still has to win out just to get to the SEC title game. And more importantly, for the playoffs, because if Alabama gets to the 3-loss before the SEC title game, they're not in the playoffs. There's some debate on if Alabama can get in as a 3-loss team if they make it to the SEC title game and the third loss is in the SEC title game. But if Alabama loses in the regular season, they're done for, because the two teams we play in the rest of the regular season are SEC teams. We play Oklahoma this week and then Auburn next week. So it is crucial that we win both this week and next week to punch the ticket to Atlanta. And then, assuming we still win off of a combined opponents record within the SEC, then we could get in without beating Texas, but more than likely we would have to win. Although there's some projections out there that have Alabama making it as an at-large team without winning the SEC. But the importance of this game, we have to win it. And you look at the game and see Oklahoma being a 5-5 team and say, oh, Alabama should win that one pretty good. But didn't we say that against Vanderbilt and they win? Didn't we say that against USF, but they hung in with us until the mid part of the fourth quarter? Didn't we say that about South Carolina, and on our own turf, they nearly beat us? We cannot be overlooking this team in the form of Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma definitely is not as good of a team as Alabama. They're 5-5. They've only won one game against an SEC opponent, and it's against Auburn, who's among one of the worst in the SEC. They've only beaten the only other Power 5 team they've beaten was a Big 12 team, Houston, who's 4-6 right now. They have not beaten a Power 5 team that has a winning record all season. But that doesn't mean that we can just walk into the stadium and they'll roll over. No, 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 no. Brent Venables is practically coaching for his job the rest of the season. Oklahoma needs to win either this week against Alabama or next week on the road against LSU to get to a bowl game. This is not the week to just lay down and sleepwalk. This is the week to make a statement to that Alabama football is here to stay. We're not going anywhere. We're going to dominate. That's the statement that needs to be made by Alabama today against Oklahoma. So Alabama, you go out there, you silence that Norman crowd, you come back home next week to play the Tigers of Auburn, you run over them, and then punch your ticket to Atlanta and hopefully the playoffs. That concludes Alabama Game Day today this week. I can't believe next week's going to be the final edition of Alabama Game Day today for the regular season already. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you know when I post a video or a short. Have a good game day, and I hope your team wins unless your team is Oklahoma. Roll Tide.